This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Hello and welcome, Superfans. My name is Dave Oster. This is the Chicago podcast where we talk everything Chicago sports. Sitting across from me is the original man-child himself, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And the one, the only, Sean Anderson. Hey. I don't know what to call for you anymore. I don't know your intro.
I forget that because I'm usually hosting when I do these things. I forget I have to say something.
True.
Like witty and fun.
Yeah, I've been saying the same thing for 8 years.
And you can't say dub the knees anymore because Mark's not here.
No, I guess I could take it, but I don't really like dub the knees.
Mm-hmm.
No offense,
You
Mark.
just said it to
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
Oh, it was better when I was filling in for Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, this as I mentioned is the Chicago podcast where we talk all Chicago sports. Today we've got a loaded lineup for you. And as a bonus, we are also live on Twitch, something new we're doing in 2020. Super excited. We've got about 12 people in Twitch right now. I don't even want to recount. I'm just laughing.
No. Just for 2020. Yep. 2021, we're back to the old.
Yeah, fuck it.
Just for 2020.
Just for
2022?
We're just dipping
Wait and see.
We're dipping our toe in the water, Twitch, and we're going to give it a go. We're live.
The way you
2024
said
will
it
be
made
on-
me think like, yep, just 2020.
2024 will be on TikTok only, and by that point, that platform will probably be dead.
I say, does it exist at that point?
Probably not.
Probably not.
We'll move to Mixer at some point. We'll join the Ninja train.
Fuck is Mixer?
It's
What Ninja's on now.
Yeah, it's like what Twitch's abomination.
Let's get on the Superfans.
Anyway, Superfans, our lineup today, because I haven't even read it yet, is I haven't read it out loud to our fans.
There you go. Okay.
God, Sean, quit assuming shit. So our lineup today on Superfans is Lewis Robert, the next Chicago superstar. We talked to Chicago White Sox last week. Got a lot of opinions from people. Love the feedback on our team this upcoming season. Second, we're going to hit up, should Mitch be the Bears QB in 2020? Because he played just well enough to apparently secure the fact he will be on the team. The question will be, is he going to be our guy in 2020? And then the Bulls are going to be in some interesting trade talks. Thad Young has already made some public statements about, hey, I'd like to have a better role on perhaps a better team. This isn't the expectations that were set for me. And Sean over here being the wise guy that he is.
Well, Thad Young literally said, like, hey, I don't like my role on the team, and then the next game, he literally got more minutes.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the only job you can be like, that's literally the only job you can go and be like, hey, I would like a better role, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, here you go. Instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly.
What are we going to do, play
minutes.
Lowry Markkinen more?
Yeah. Hey, I would like a raise. Oh, okay, cool. Well, paperwork's already done. Paperwork's already done. You're getting more minutes. Congrats, Thad Young.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's something special, but we'll hit that last. So, to start things off, it's a fun topic because, Sean, you're rocking the Sox gear right now. The White Sox have so much young talent, but now that we've added in some serious offseason acquisitions, the expectations have arisen. Mm-hmm. We're expecting playoff hunt this year. I think that's where I still feel comfortable saying out loud. I know Sam had a bold prediction out there from his segment that we recorded last week. Check that out. Great segment. But Sean, Lewis Robert, being one of the top prospects in the minors last year, now signs his deal. He's going to be locked down with the White Sox for the future. What does that mean to you, and what does that kind of mean off the expectations we saw from Eloy last year getting a similar deal?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because the White Sox have been ahead on locking guys up early. They locked up Chris Sale very early into his career, extended him, got him up right away. It was a great deal when it was happening. They had Chris Sale, who was a Cy Young candidate, for like $11 million. Fantastic deal. They did that with Tim Anderson as well. They last year were the fourth team to give out a contract extension to a player with 0 days of MLB service time in Eloy Jimenez. And then they just went back and did it again with Luis Robert. They went out and gave him a 6-year, $50 million deal. And they also has 2 club options in 2026, 2027. I really do not. I would be shocked if they don't pick those up in 2026
like a $15 and a $20 million for respectively.
Yeah. So I think that the club options it could increase the deal to I think 83 or something like that.
Wow.
I'm
still
not entirely sure
if he hits the expectations.
Well, that's the thing is I would be very shocked if they're not picking up those options in 2026 and 2027. So basically, they have him locked up until 2027. And you look at what he's done in the minors, and he is a player that is absolutely, truly a freak. You want to talk about 5-tool players? He has incredible speed, which improves his fielding in a center field range immensely. He is 6'4", like 215 pounds, and I think ran a like 660. Like they timed him. It was something stupid. I think it might have been like an 8.260. Whatever a stupid 60-yard dash time was. Luis Robert ran it. He might come in and might be one of the top 5 fastest players in the MLB. He stole 36 bags in AAA and in the minors last year. He hit 32 bombs. If you listen to the sound the ball makes coming off of his bat, it is, juiced ball or not, scary. He can make contact. 328 batting average. He had an OPS of 100.1, and he's got a decent eye as well. He's gonna strike out. He had 129 strikeouts last year in the minor leagues, but I really don't care. I mean, Chris Bryant came up in his first year and led the majors in strikeouts. It doesn't mean you have a bad eye. It doesn't mean that you're a bad hitter. It just means you're getting into counts that you might be taking pitches that are getting you into two strike counts. You might be very patient looking for a certain pitch and being struck out looking. And even
or
if
you're
he's
just
super over aggressive,
taking the advantage of being in the minors and swinging when you have the opportunity to.
Exactly, and he still had a 376 OBP. So I like that a lot. I mean, you would like it to be near 400, but the kid's 22. So I look at him, and he's got the ability to make contact. Like I said, 328 batting average. He's got power with 32 bombs. He's got the fielding ability with his speed. His speed's obviously shown by the 32 stolen bases.
Yep.
I forget what the 5th tool is. Power, contact, speed,
defense,
fielding.
Ooh.
What is the 5th tool?
Is that just base running? Is just base running that, and we can just throw that into the...
I feel like I should know this from the top of my head.
Is it arm?
Yes.
It could be arm, yeah.
Okay,
it's arm.
Then I'm iffy on what his arm is then.
Yep.
It throws well, fields well. He fields well, I know that for sure. So at least he's playing out in center field, and I truly think that this guy has everything to be a star in this league. He has the body that is unique. He could be a wide receiver if he was playing in the league. I've heard people like Jason Benetti comp him to, he looks like Terrell Owens when he's looking out there. Just he looks so graceful and effortless when he's moving out there. Yeah. And his swing of the bat is just insane. He's got a great stance. He's got a ton of power, and he's gonna probably lead off for the Sox. As the guy that can hit 32 bombs this year with his speed, and I truly think that he's going to be a menace, especially if you are batting guys like Yohan Moncada behind him, because you're going to have to pitch to Robert if you are if you want to make sure that Moncada doesn't have somebody on base with him, especially somebody with speed. So I think that this guy is going to have plenty and ample opportunities to attack at the plate, and I think that he can make a true impact on this team this year, and he's only 22. So by the time when we get to 2027, 7 years from now, when he's 29 years old, I don't even want to know what he can be like.
Prime Robert could be disgusting.
He could be disgusting as a rookie. I mean, I think he's probably the favorite to be Rookie of the Year this year.
Well, I think that was the one question kind of, Ricky, you and I had going into the last week's episode, was the fact that he hadn't signed this deal. There was the question of if they were going to play the shenanigans about if we don't play him in the majors until this point, we have contract control over him for a future date. It was the question of, well, is he going to be as impactful as a rookie if we're putting playoff expectations on this team? Do we want to go get a veteran? And now we've signed the deal. It's very clear that the intention is he's going to be our starter. He's definitely going to get those at-bats, those play appearances right off the bat. What is your take on this situation?
Well, my whole thing, and this is just from reading the article about it, when obviously they said all this was through a translator, but the quote from him of, "I'm going to do my best to help this team win multiple championships," I like that, but I don't like it, because I know why you're shaking your head, because you kind of know what I'm going to say. I like it because if he's on your team, you want him to have that mindset. But since I'm not a White Sox, I'm going to throw it out this way of, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Like, winning one championship is really hard to do. Let's not, and I'm talking about this from a Cubs standpoint of, we won that one. It's like, great, we can build a dynasty. We haven't been there since. So, that's the only thing where it's like, I know it's a comment just made because you're hyped about the new contract. You're hyped to play. But, I look at that and I go, and this is something that, we even talked about last week with Sam, when Sam's like, oh, we're going to win the division. I was like, oh, that you guys can, but there's a possibility you guys don't. And I don't want White Sox fans to overhype this season and then be upset when the hype level isn't matched.
Right now, the futures are coming out of Vegas, and this is before the Robert extension, but they were putting him at 84 wins. That's very reasonable.
Yes.
That wouldn't win you a division if you hit 84. But even then, there is now after this Robert signing, you have the ability to win near 90 games, and that can win you the division. Winning 88 games
Is the
and winning
Robert
the AL
signing
Central.
going to matter on the wins and losses though? Because he was still on the team.
No,
yeah,
but he's going to be playing opening day.
one. Yeah.
So you're going to have him right when the season starts instead of waiting possibly 2 weeks into the season to calling him up. And then that way he gets off to a slower start. I mean, I don't think he's going to come up and start hitting bombs right away. I think it's going to take him a couple weeks.
You got to get used to those MLB arms.
Yeah, so it's going to take him a couple weeks to get ready. Call him up right away and let him work through those issues right away, especially cold in March. Let him start off cold and have him build up because you know that at some point he's going to be a menace on this 2019 or 2020 team. God, it's crazy. That's 2020.
Right.
This 2020 team, you know that he's going to be a menace on this team. It's just at some point you need him to get through those issues. You need to get through those, those adjustments. And having him have an earlier start is going to matter most. That's why I wanted to have him call up last year, because if you call him up last year, he gets to work through all that stuff and he knows what he can expect coming through for the 162 for 2020.
Yeah.
The thing though that I was talking to you read the article and don't like the quote or whatever about setting expectations too high. I look at that and I literally could care less because that is just athlete talk, and positive athlete talk means nothing in the world. You are not getting actual insight, because what do you want him to say? I can't wait to be fourth in the AL Central. I can't wait to help strike out 200 times and be a bust. Ooh. What do you want him to say? Like
Can't wait to help this team win.
I can't wait to have reasonable expectations and win 83 games and be one game above 500.
Thank God.
Can't wait to help this team
out there
win.
played real well. It's generic.
Exactly. You want to help this team win championships. That's why you play the game. Hello. I mean, that's the thing.
Nice.
I don't want you to. I don't care what he says.
The game.
No offense to Luis Robert, but I care about when I look at athletes and when they speak. I care about when they're speaking either self-reflection, as in, I can do this better, or I can improve, and this is how I can improve.
How aware
reflection
are they?
on the game. Yeah. Deshaun Watson giving insight onto, into coverages and what he saw into plays. I care about where their self-reflection lies and how they're going to improve, because that shows that they have recognition, cognizance, and they're not just spouting something that their coach told them. They have something that they're thinking outside of themselves. They're smart players, and obviously Luis Robert has nothing to go off of because it's the offseason. Yeah. Of course he's going to be excited. He's going to be hyped up. He just got $50 million, for Christ's sake. Yeah. So, what do you want him to say? I don't think expectations are too high. I don't think any White Sox fans saw, oh God, we're going to win the World Series without Luis Robert in 2020. No, my reaction was, thank God the White Sox are one of the best teams at getting ahead of contract extensions. They've done this consistently with their players, and thank God we don't have to wait through service time BS, and we don't have to deal with what you guys are currently dealing on the north side with Chris Bryant, with this whole grievance. It's highly likely that he's going to lose this grievance hearing, that he's not going to become a free agent next season. But I don't even want to have that option. Quit messing around. If he's going to be on your opening day roster, regardless of contract, then call him up. This way we know that he's going to be on the team. Let's go watch him at Guaranteed Rate Field. Let's be excited, because he is going to be a guy that has superstar potential. So I truly think that this is a great move by the White Sox. You are not hurt by this move, because you know that he is going to be a part of your team and that you're going to ride him out for at least 3 years, no matter what, even if he's horrible, because he has this much potential. So this is an absolute smart move by Rick Hahn. There's no negatives to these moves. That's why we're talking about how big of a superstar he can be. Yeah. Because really, end all be all, if this doesn't pan out, they lose $50 million. They still are under $200 million for total salary cap this year. Yeah. So it doesn't even matter if this contract flops out, because it's only $50 million, and to us, that's insane. But to an MLB franchise, especially to Jerry Reinsdorf, who owns 2 major sports teams in the 3rd largest sports market, this is nothing. So this is a great move. Great job by Rick Hahn getting this done, and great job on the agents doing it. Let's go see this kid play ball, because he can be something truly special.
And I think that's the thing to take away is,
Because, like, what if Chris Bryant came up when he got, he came up in his second week? He was like, I can't wait to help the Cubs win a championship. You think he'd be like, oh, slow your roll there. Hey, 108 years.
I would.
How many times have I heard that?
You're like, cool. This kid has the eyes on his prize.
I would have been like, hey, let's get out of the first round, and then because that's usually what they did during my lifetime.
What did he do 3 years after he got called up?
Won the whole thing, but it wasn't just him. And the thing with the whole
it wasn't just him, but he's your goddamn best player on that team.
But like the whole thing that you bring up, the grievance, which is, I never got mad at teams that were like, hey, we're going to keep you down for the first, I think it's 15 games for depending
2
on
weeks,
like,
pretty much.
Yeah, it's the whole like service time thing in order to keep the extra year.
Yep.
I never got mad at that because that's a team playing good business. Like a team, if you're good enough to keep, of course a team's going to be like, no, we're going to keep you down there.
It's business
so
versus what's best for your guys, and I think that's the difference. Is
that
like
season we didn't need them those 15 games. Like I'm speaking on our mindset. Then the Sox, I think, would if the situation was the same here. I wouldn't be upset as a Sox fan if he was down in the minors for 2 years because this season is not a make or break for the White Sox.
But here's the thing is with the Chris Bryant thing, I don't care if teams hold them down. That's going to be knocked out by the MLBPA and all this stuff over the offseason when the CBA comes up. I don't care about all of that. If the White Sox kept him down, though, I think they would be hurting him. So I don't want them to hurt their players, and it's good to see that they realize that they would be making a mistake by holding him down, and that getting him out there as soon as possible will help him. It clearly didn't hurt Chris Bryant. He won Rookie of the Year, right? It didn't hurt him. He was phenomenal the first year. He finished 11th in MVP voting. It doesn't end up mattering because he's probably going to lose the grievance anyways. The service time is the rules are the way the rules are. The Cubs operated by the rules. I don't want to have a service time argument here. No. It's just more about the fact that the White Sox knew that this guy was going to be a part of their team for a very long time. Yeah. Make him happy. Make sure that if he is really good, that you're going to be in a good position to bargain and negotiate him when he's a 29-year-old free agency and hopefully a superstar, that you don't have to do this. Because now Chris Bryant, being a Cub, is up in the air because you're not sure if he's going to sign, if he's going to go and chase the money when he does become a free agent because you fucked around with him in 2015. Chris Bryant has clearly been pissed off by that. He's trying to win the grievance because he wants to be able to be a free agent. He wanted to be able to be known that, hey, I wasn't doubted when this team, picked me up in 2015. You might say it's petty. You might say, it's iffy. But it's true that Chris Bryant has shown that he is anti what happened to him in 2015. He knew he was ready immediately from spring training. Yeah. He showed it in spring training. Yeah. Luis Robert has shown this in AAA that he can be on an MLB team. He should have been up in September. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Give him the chance right away. I understand your point that service time is service time. Teams can follow the rules if they want to. Yep. Absolutely. But I'm glad as a White Sox fan they didn't fuck around.
The big thing, and to get off of the service time thing, is with Luis Robert is what we kind of talked about last week, where the White Sox in the news, and this deal kind of goes against and kind of maybe puts a kibosh on what we were talking about. But there have been, White Sox have been linked to Yasiel Puig. Yeah. They've been linked in the past to making maybe an offer for a Jock Peterson. And this to me is like with them sending the money and basically locking down Robert. That's to me like you're not going to get both of those guys. You're probably maybe not even going to get any of them because you're going to be like, fuck it. Let's double it down with the young guys. Well, let's not bring in a Puig. Let's not even try to trade for a Jock Peterson.
Well, now you know that left field's going to be manned by Eloy. You know that Luis Robert is going to man center field. And I think the biggest thing that tipped off that they weren't going to go for a right fielder was not the Mazzara trade, although the Mazzara trade definitely plays into it. It was the Edwin Encarnacion signing because they were looking for a right-handed player, a right fielder to bring power. Jock, Puig, Nicholas Castellanos. Those guys were supposed to bring power to the lineup. Edwin Encarnacion does that. He is, outside of Nelson Cruz, he's hit the most straight 30 home run seasons in the past 8 years. Cruz has 8 straight 30 home run seasons. Edwin Encarnacion has 6. So you look at that, and that's the reason why Puig and Jock and Castellanos were connected, because they brought power to the lineup. Edwin Encarnacion does that, and I believe that they're going to take a shot on Mazzara because they think that a big part of what he is mentally. What I've heard is that he is a guy that likes to make contact, and he feels he wouldn't be the same player if he was just going for contact. they might try to convince him to become a fly ball hitter, use that power because he is a very good power hitter. So I think they already think that they have the in-house solution there with Mazara. And after this Robert signing, or after the Robert signing and the Edwin Encarnacion signing, I don't think the gap there is in right field. I think it's mainly in the bullpen, and that's where they're going to address next, if they do address again, because they've spent a lot, but if they go out and get another piece for that bullpen, it's an A plus offseason. There's no other way to beat around the bush. They hit their number 2 starting pitcher, Dallas Keuchel. They hit another guy in Gio Gonzalez in their starting pitching. They hit a great bench bat in Edwin Encarnacion, or power bat, just defensive DH bat. They went out and got a catcher in Yasmani Grandal. They extended Luis Robert.
They extended first baseman, and I've already forgot his name.
They brought back Abreu, but that was
the second time you forgot his name.
I always forget Abreu.
Truly
I'm off with names, though. That's
I know.
Truly unquestioned. Like, if he was not in a White Sox uniform, I would have been shocked.
Yep.
So Sam's got a lineup for you. I'm going to say for you. Number 1, Robert. Yep. Then Moncada at 2. Eloy at 3.
No.
Grandal at 4.
No.
Abreu at 5.
No.
Encarnacion at 6. Anderson at 7. Mazara at 8. And then Madrigal at 9. He says that lineup would be an absolute nightmare for opposing pitchers.
Madrigal's iffy. That's the next question. I don't think they're going to extend him like they did Robert, because he is less of a known commodity, at least not in the White Sox organization to White Sox fans. But I don't know if he is truly a guy that should be on their 26-man roster. That's a guy that is really iffy just because he doesn't have massive power, and he's great at not striking out, and he's great at making contact. But what is his ceiling in the MLB? I think that's up in the air for question. I don't think anyone's clamoring. When Luis Roberts just punching balls 500 feet out of the stadium and he's hitting a 328 batting average, he's stealing 36 bags and hitting 32 home runs, it's unquestionable that that guy's an MLB player.
Yep.
Madrigal, it's questionable because he's great at making contact, but what's his true ceiling? So I'm not too sure that he's going to be up on the team opening day. At some point, I think he will be. I hope he is. But I think Robert at 1, absolutely playing center field. 2, Moncada playing third. I think 3, I really would be shocked if they don't bat Abreu there, just because that's where he's always been. I think Abreu will bat third. Grandal at 4, I think, is correct. I wouldn't be shocked if they went Edwin Encarnacion, but you have Robert, who's a righty, then Moncada, who's a switch hitter, then Abreu, who's a righty, then Grandal, who's a switch hitter. I think you're likely going to see that, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5 is Eloy. They batted Eloy consistently at the 5 spot. I think that's where he should be. Encarnacion at the 6 spot, I think, makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Playing DH. Then you have Anderson at 7. It seems like they were very consistent even before they made those additions. I think that's where they want him to be at.
Yeah.
So I think him batting 7th, playing short, would make sense. Mazara does seem to be like he's going to be the right fielder. Second base is up in the air because I don't think Madrigal is going to be there. So I think if they're going to add anybody, I don't think it's going to be in right field. I think it's going to be bullpen and second base. And it's questioning, who are they going to bring in? I think Scooter Gennett's still available. He brings a left-handed bat with more pop. If they just want to go crazy power, Scooter Gennett's been able to hit 30 bombs before the season. So
last week we talked about, do they make a deal for Arenado? Because that's another one that we were kind of that it's on the radar. Could come in and play infield, and you guys can mix the infield up however you want.
Well, it would just mean Arenado play third and Moncada will play second, but it's not happening. Like, they just signed Arenado to a crazy long deal. And what are the Sox going to give up? Like, you need to have a headliner of that deal. You're not giving up Moncada.
You're not
giving up Robert. So
you're not even giving up Eloy.
No, fuck no.
Yeah,
fuck no.
So
Madrigal is your headliner. Like
that ain't gonna move.
It might, but you need to add a lot to that deal, and I don't know if it's going to be enough for the Rockies. I don't know what the Rockies really want. I would be shocked if they traded Arenado, and I don't think the White Sox are going to make a play on that. I think it's just too much.
Yeah,
let's go. That's where if you want to say, all right, White Sox, slow down.
We're jumping the shark a little there.
Yeah, like I that's something where it was when the Khalil Mack rumor started floating out there. I was like, there's no way it's happening. No fucking way. No fucking way. And then I didn't even see the Bears link, so I was like, I'm not even paying attention to it. And then when the deal actually happened, I was shocked. I was driving down. I was going north on 90. I was working that day, and I got the notification, immediately punched on the score. I think I was working with a woman, too, at the time, and I was like, I'm sorry, I need to listen to what the hell's happening. So I turned on the score, started listening to what was going on, and it was something that was truly shocked me, because I didn't believe it was going to actually be a thing. If this Arenado thing is going to be real, I will pay attention to it when it's real. When it's actually a deal that's when I'll pay attention to it because I think it's a ton of BS right now. So I think if you're talking about adding to this lineup, it's going to be a smaller name free agent, probably a veteran bat. Cesar Hernandez would have been an interesting ad, but he's already signed and he's already gotten a deal. Jonathan Scope would have been an interesting sign as well, but he's already gotten a deal. So I think that's why I immediately think of Scooter Gennett. He was healthy last year with the Reds, and then he played for the Giants. But he's been a guy that has had pop before at second base and is a left-handed bat. So I think that's where you would think. I really think Arenado is too much, honestly. So yeah, I think that's where at least I'd be at it. Filling out that lineup because Madrigal is iffy on if he will be up to start 2020 and when he will even be up and what he can produce.
Yeah, personally, I look at that bullpen and I would wait that one out till closer to mid-year, see how we're doing, see how the team's trending. I don't think. Yeah, but I think that's a position where you don't have to spend during the offseason. You can go mid-season, get somebody on a relatively good deal.
It's true, but also if they went out and signed Daniel Hudson to a one-year deal for $12 million, I would not care.
No, I wouldn't be angry
because
at all.
It's a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
I think he's left-handed. He's a guy that can throw 96. Like, add him to the pen isn't going to be a bad thing. So, and he just won a World Series.
He's got a track record. That's the thing.
He's a former White Sox.
There you go.
Sox.
White Sox.
Sorry, 27 bombs is the career high for Scooter Gennett.
Nice. Let's answer the question to wrap things up. Is Luis Robert the next superstar for the Chicago White Sox?
I think by 2023 he will be the best player on the team. I think he would be better than Yohan Moncada. I think he would be better than Lucas Giolito, Michael Kopech, Dylan Cease, whatever player you want to throw out there.
Yep.
I think he will be the best team of the Chicago White Sox by 2023. I'd be absolutely shocked if he wasn't. If he's not a top 3 team, a top 3 player by 2023 on this White Sox team, that either means we have won 4 championships or 3 championships, or he's a bust. So I truly think it's boom or bust with this kid. I don't think he's just going to be another guy. I don't think he's going to be like a Jorge Soler. I don't think he's going to be one of those guys. At least I hope he's not. He could be. He's got great power, very similarly built to Jorge Soler. But he's got better speed, and I think he's got better contact. I think this kid's the cat's meow.
I love it. Ooh. I love it. Ricky, your take. Is he the guy?
He's going to be really good, but I think that if I had to say the next superstar, it's Eloy. Like, I really love what Eloy had last year, and I think that he's going to be – you'll consider him a superstar before Roberts, but they're both going to be there. It's kind of like Chris Bryant and Javi Baez. They're both really good for the Cubs, but like one's better than the other.
I love your Chicago-ness of adding the S to Roberts.
Oh, yeah, no, it's never not going to be Roberts.
I disagree.
Joe Burrows.
S is for everybody.
I love Eloy because he's got such charisma to him. He's got such a bubbly personality. He's got a lot of superstardom in him, but I think that you look at the two players, Robert might have less natural power, but he can put the barrel on the ball more than Eloy can. I think he's got a better eye. I think he'll strike out less. I think he'll have higher contact. He's a marginally better fielder. I mean, I love Eloy.
You just see higher upside there.
Yeah, if Eloy's the best player on the White Sox and Luis Robert's the second best and Moncada's the third best,
we're doing something right.
I'm not gonna complain, but I would be very shocked if Eloy eclipses Robert, but I wouldn't be upset.
Okay.
As long as Robert doesn't suck.
All right, and there you have it. That's our takes on what's going to happen for the White Sox, what their next year is going to look like, and what the next couple of years, because hopefully we're looking at a superstar on a relatively cheap deal a couple of years from now. Let us know what you guys think down below, and thank you guys on Twitch, Sam, Jake, keeping us company in here as we speak.